The Denver Broncos and Houston Texans meet at NRG Stadium for a game that might have playoff implications. I never thought in my life that I'd ever have to write that, but here we are. The Denver Broncos are currently the hottest team in the NFL right now. They have won 5 straight games, which is something they haven't done since 2015, and have no means to stop. They have beaten quality opponents, and they should be taken seriously, but there are still doubters out there. The talk around town is that Denver can't keep winning games like they have because it's just not sustainable. Of course, they're talking about Denver's defense, winning the turnover battle, and Denver doing just enough to get by. But with a seasoned coach like Sean Payton, and a defense that's running super hot, and an offense that's doing what it needs to do in crucial moments, I don't see this train stopping. But enough of the Broncos, let's talk about the matchup between these two good teams. What the Texans have been doing has been nothing short of amazing. When Bryce Young and CJ Stroud were the first 2 quarterbacks taken in the draft, I truly believed that Bryce was going to be the one who would have had a better season. But I was proven wrong. CJ Stroud is not only having impressive numbers as a rookie, but he's playing like an all-pro. He's thrown for 3,266 yards, 19 touchdowns, and 5 interceptions. He is on pace to break Andrew Luck's rookie passing record, which is 4,374 yards. And he might break the rookie record for passing touchdowns, which is set at 31. He has immediately set the tone in Houston, and everyone around him sees him as a leader. I'm hoping only the best for CJ, and think he'll do amazing things in the league. But if he wants to continue his storybook of a season, he needs to not turn the ball over against a team that seems to force 2 to 3 a game. The Texans are coming off a close loss to the Jacksonville Jaguars, who came into Houston and won 24-21. But the Texans had a chance to tie the game at the end, but Matt Amendola, who's not related to St. Louis Rams legend Danny Amendola, missed a 58-yard field goal. Seems like the Texans won't have to worry about that again because they cut him on Monday to make room for defensive end Derek Barnett. This matchup is most interesting because these two coaches could have easily been on either team during the offseason. The Texans interviewed Sean Payton during the offseason for their head coaching position, and DeMeco Ryans was very close to becoming the next coach of the Broncos. We all know how that would go, and both teams are very happy with their decision. Sure, Denver had a more rough start to their season, but they seem to have erased all of their dysfunction and are playing sound football. Both teams are also in the thick of the playoff chase. There is currently a 3-way tie for the 7th seed in the AFC. The Broncos would gain a huge advantage over the Texans if they were to beat them on Sunday, and would only need a Colts loss to take that spot. The Colts and Texans play each other in Week 18. Javonte Williams recently came out and said that the Broncos are viewing their game against the Texans as a playoff game. I've said this before and I'll say it again. That will be Denver's mindset going into the rest of their games. They can't afford any more losses if they plan on staying in the playoff hunt. But what this team has done already has been incredible. Everything about this season has felt similar to the magical Tebow season. Tebow took the reins after Kyle Orton led the Broncos to a 1-4 start. The Broncos defense and Tebow would go on to win 6 straight games and finish the season 8-8 and a victory over the Steelers in the wild card. They are playing almost the same exact opponents from that season too, with the exception of them not playing the Bengals and Titans. Of course, Denver would lose 45-10 to the Patriots in the divisional round, but no one was going to stop Prime Brady in Foxborough. The Broncos will have a 64% chance to make the playoffs if they beat the Texans on Sunday, which is a drastic change from 27% after their victory over the Browns. As the season progresses, it's easy to see who's real and who's not, and unfortunately for the AFC, the playoff picture has stayed about the same. However, it's getting easier to see the faults of these teams and who could really make the distance. I think the Texans could be a very strong team and see them making it. I don't see the Browns staying in the race, and something about the Steelers don't scream playoff team to me. But since coaching the Steelers, Mike Tomlin has never had a losing season. The Colts have been playing solid ball, but it'll either be them or the Texans, and I think the Texans are overall the better team, which means that there is a potential spot for the Broncos. The rest of Denver's schedule is tough, but they're all very, very winnable games. As each week passes, I gain more confidence in this Denver team and could see a reality where they run the table and win out. The Chargers are in disarray. The Lions get exposed every other week. And the Raiders, well, they're the Raiders. Oh, and the Patriots are there too. I see Denver going 9-8 or 12-5. Either way, their floor is very high. No one has expected a run like this from the Broncos. I think this season has already been a success and has shown the potential of what we can actually do. The offense is still looking stagnant, and the defense is still getting these ridiculous penalties. Some fans around the league are starting to call Denver a dirty team, but I think everyone is so accustomed to getting flags for hard hits, or they watch the reaction from their quarterback and think they warrant a flag. That's how the game is now, and it's upsetting. I think player safety is very important, but football is a very physical game. Injuries are going to happen. Some players make illegal hits. Some make legal hits and still get flagged for it. I never thought there'd be a time in the NFL when I didn't know what a legal hit is. But what do I know? If Denver keeps getting flagged for making legal hits and playing physical football, then so be it. Call us dirty. Dirty Denver is a great name. Definitely beats No Fly Zone 2.0. I think that playing in a dome will help Russ in the offense out. The biggest downside of playing in a dome, however, is turf. We are seeing a turf-related injury almost every single week, so I'm crossing my fingers that no player on either team goes down with an injury. I think this will be a very close game. Denver comes out on top though, 27-21. We pump the brakes on CJ Stroud and get a tiebreaker over the Texans. Thanks for watching. Go Broncos!